Hello, and welcome to this video on risk and controls related to delegation of approvals. There are several ways that workflow approvals can be delegated. In this video, we will look at 4 ways users and an admin can enter and maintain rules that delegate workflow authority to someone else. These are the 4 ways that approval authority can be delegated. 3 ways can be done via a user themselves, and 1 way via an admin. The first way to delegate workflow approvals is through the BPM Worklist. This page is integrated with the same privilege that gives a user access to the workflow notification. Here, vacation rules can be enabled for a period of time or indefinitely, as the end date can be left blank. This is an all or nothing form. If set, the approvals are reassigned or delegated permanently. We will walk through these 2 options in an example on the next slide. On the prior slide, we saw there were 2 options, reassign and delegate to. The reassign option gives the delegee the ability to respond to the notification, but requires the delegation to have the proper authorization in order to make the approval. For example, if the delegator has a $100,000 approval limit and they can delegate it to somebody with a $50,000 approval limit. If a PO was for $75,000, the delegee would not be able to approve it. The delegate option gives them your authorization level if the approval limit is limit or dollar based. Therefore, in this scenario, if the delegate to was used, the person that was the delegee would have the ability to approve the $75,000 PO. The option to allow the user the ability to delegate their approval limit to another person can be disabled here. Most organizations would not allow someone to pass on their limit to someone else, especially those that are at a level below them. Therefore, we typically recommend that this option highlighted in red is set to disabled as shown. This screen shows the delegated to option grayed out based upon the configuration in the prior screen. The second scenario is where someone can delegate approval authority via the My Rules page. This page is similar to vacation rules in the BPM Worklist, but allows more flexibility in how these rules are built. Rules can be developed task by task, as opposed to everything on the vacation rules page we saw prior. This is a much better approach to building rules and allows more flexibility in the implementation of an organization's policy related to delegation of authority. You can see the comments at the bottom of the screen that describes the difference between reassignment and delegation. Next, we'll look at the third scenario of how a user can maintain their workflow delegations. This page allows for the delegation roles to another user via the roles delegated to others option. This is the role delegation, not the workflow approval delegation. This is a separate topic that we have covered on our YouTube channel, and I'll provide a link at the end of this video. This page also allows for the delegation of workflow approvals to others via the approvals delegated to others, as is highlighted here. There's really no reason for a user to have access to this page. We would never recommend to allow a user to delegate a role, which is the other option, assigning a role that's assigned to them to another user. Therefore, this option, since it can be covered in other areas, we prefer this page not be assigned. So here we see the delegation approvals can be handled on this My Rules page or on the My Rules page elsewhere, or the Vacation Rules page. Even better than allowing a user to manage these is to have these types of delegations handled in a centralized manner, which we will discuss next. This is the drill down on this page, the add delegation role you can see here. This page, if this page were to be used, this provides more granularity as shown here, similar to the My Rules page. Delegations can be set more precisely category by category as shown. One feature we don't like about this page is the allow this user to approve their own transaction option, which is highlighted in red. This option would cause a conflict of interest if a manager, as an example, delegates their approval authority to someone who could approve their own workflow. One fraud risk example would be where a purchasing manager delegates their authority to a buyer while they're on vacation and allows them to approve their own transaction. This feature isn't something that most organizations would want would want to allow since it would violate their policy. We have logged an enhancement request with Oracle to make this a configurable choice so that they could remove this feature if it weren't allowed by policy. The fourth scenario we will look at is the ability to centralize vacation roles or delegation via the BPM admin role. The BPM admin role allows an organization to have a centralized process to set on behalf of other users, but this screen doesn't allow for the task by task or workflow by workflow assignment, so it isn't optimally designed. We have an enhancement request to allow more flexibility in a centralization process as well. Implementing the right policy, procedures, and security around vacation roles and permanent delegation of workflow approvals can be a significant challenge for organizations running ERP Cloud. Significant enhancements are needed by Oracle. This slide recaps our recommendations. Like I mentioned, there are several ideas that we and others have filed with Oracle. Please log on to Customer Connect and vote for these ideas. Please also consider joining our working group, which was formed to help identify these types of enhancements and to encourage Oracle to implement them. If you're interested, you can contact us at info@erpra.net. Finally, as mentioned, here's the information related to the ability to delegate assigned roles to another user. We'd encourage you to check out this video as well. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, please be in contact with us.